Yo ninjas, I'm Kaio and welcome to the first AIRFLARE progression video. In this series I'm gonna try to learn AIRFLAREs counterclockwise in my weak direction. I was inspired by Kirill from Russia to make this series, so I'm gonna leave his YouTube channel in the description to check him out. To learn AIRFLAREs on the opposite direction, I'm gonna use my own tutorials that I made, especially the follow along tutorial and the AIRFLARE exercises video. If you haven't seen these two videos, I'm gonna leave the links in the description. If you're learning how to AIRFLARE from scratch, you can compare your progress with my progress in this series. I forgot to tell you, if you're also learning AIRFLAREs or if you want to learn AIRFLAREs again to the opposite direction, you can join an AIRFLARE training group that I just created on Telegram. You can find the link in the description. Join this group and let's learn AIRFLARE together and let's share our progress. To give you a little bit of background of my power move level on my weak direction, I already made actually one video where I practice power moves in my opposite direction. Also, I want to give you a few more information to really understand my current level and where I'm starting from to learn AIRFLAREs. I can do hand-ups on both sides, but my strong side hand-ups is the left arm. And by practicing AIRFLAREs counterclockwise, the left arm is the throwing arm. So usually when I do AIRFLAREs in my regular direction, I have more control on my landing arm than my throwing arm. By practicing AIRFLARE counterclockwise, it will be the opposite. I will have more control on the throwing arm and less control on my landing arm. So I know that in my case, to learn AIRFLAREs counterclockwise, I have to pay a little bit more attention on my landing arm and make it stronger. Because my left hand hand-ups and pike freezes are pretty good, I think I can use the bounce technique during this AIRFLARE, but I have troubles doing the swing technique in this case. I think if my other power moves counterclockwise will get smoother and faster, also my AIRFLARE will get a little bit smoother and more powerful. So again, my strategy to learn AIRFLAREs on my weak side is focusing on basic power moves such as windmill, swipes and flares on my weak side, focusing on my right hand control, so hand-ups on the right hand, pike freezes on the right hand, and following the videos that I already made. I will practice AIRFLAREs around 3 times per week and I will post one video per week where I show you my progress. I never really practice AIRFLAREs on my weak side consistently. This means that I only practice for fun few times, but from now on I will start practicing this move consistently. And this is day 1. I just noticed something very interesting. Even though my pike freeze is way better on my left arm, that is the throwing arm, when I do the regular power move start and I try to go into pike, I find it very challenging. Instead, on my regular side, even though my right hand pike freeze is worse than my left hand, I can easily go from the power move start into the right pike freeze. Maybe I'm just more used to control the movement, the pike freeze, while turning my legs. Instead, on my counterclockwise direction, even if my pike freeze is pretty good, I cannot really control it very well while I spin. So I really need to focus and drill this exercise until it will become very natural for me. Throwing still feels a little bit weird. I'm feeling like I'm not pushing with both legs at the same time, but I feel like I push stronger with my left leg. Now, last step, I would like to focus on landing on my opposite foot. So until now I landed with my right foot on the floor. Now I wanna aim to land with my left foot on the floor. I land so heavy. Let's try it again. Okay, no, I think it's still too early for me to aim to land with the opposite foot on the floor. I still need to drill the previous exercises. When I will get a little better on previous exercises, I will aim landing on the opposite foot on the floor. A very good sign for your first air flare is when you are able to land on the opposite foot very naturally. It means that you are almost ready or you're ready to connect your first round of air flare to other power moves. If you cannot land with the opposite foot on the floor, you can still do it by cheating a little bit with the right leg. In my case, when I spin counterclockwise, you can land in this position and from here just connect it to other power moves. But when you are able to land with the opposite foot, it means that you are ready to do it clean without cheating anymore. Now, last thing that I want to try is connecting flare to air flare to flare again by cheating a little bit. Still very heavy for me. If I improve my overall power move level on my opposite direction, as I said before, I think my air flare will also improve automatically. Week 1, day 2. Today I'm gonna strictly follow my AIRFLARE follow along tutorial. Yesterday I wanted to test a little bit more, but I still kinda follow the exercises. This time I'm gonna try to follow it a little bit more strictly. Follow the AIRFLARE follow along tutorial. For the first time, I think it's not that bad. I just have to be consistent and keep following it. I think I have trouble a little bit coordinating the legs when I do AIRFLAREs in the opposite direction. Especially for me, it's very hard to bounce the right leg and to swing the left leg. For me, it's pretty natural doing the opposite thing. With this leg, I should kick lower and do a wide circle that I cannot do yet. And I should bend this other leg towards me and bounce it up like a hand-up. I think it's very hard to focus on both legs at the same time, so I'm gonna focus on the right leg first. I'm gonna learn how to bounce this leg correctly. When I learn how to bounce this leg correctly, I'm also gonna focus on this other one. But for the moment, I will not even think about the left leg to swing, because if I think of bouncing and swinging at the same time, I think it's too hard and too confusing. And then when I will master both legs, I will focus maybe on something else, maybe about my hips, or maybe about the throw, or maybe about swinging faster or harder, but I don't want to focus on too many things at the same time. I want to correct my mistakes one by one. Week 1, day 3. Today my muscles hurt, maybe because I'm not used to practice on the other side so much. My abs here are hurting, but also my lower back and also my upper back. So today I'm gonna go a little bit easier, I think. Since I don't want to force myself too much, I'm not gonna throw so much and I'm not gonna push so hard, but I'm gonna practice mostly the walkover. That I think it requires a little bit less power. I never really practiced counterclockwise AIRFLARE with a walkover method, so it will be the very first time for me. Let's see how it goes. I'm gonna start from the spinning handstand and I'm gonna try to evolve the spinning handstand to make it look more like a walkover. I just noticed that it makes me feel very uncomfortable spinning on the right hand, so I should really practice also the reverse 90 to get more confidence on the right hand. Now I try to make the steps smaller. I still feel very uncomfortable, but I will start like this until it gets smoother. Let's try some reverse 90s. It's very scary for me to push like this inside. I start to get the feeling a little bit of the reverse 90, but it's still very scary for me. I also want to practice reverse 90s with hops, and let's see how it goes. I think it's going to be very useful to get more control on the landing arm. Ooh. Yeah. Okay, I think this is just a matter of practice. I'm just not used to this because I never tried before. I really need to get more comfortable with all these movements. That's it for this week. I will keep practicing the AIRFLARE 3 times per week and I will post 1 video per week. If you are also learning AIRFLAREs or you want to start, or maybe you want to challenge yourself and try to learn AIRFLAREs on the other side, join the Telegram group, link in the description. And if you will need more help, check out also my Patreon, link in the description. See you next time with new videos. Yo ninjas!